Hey everybody, Thursday afternoon, time for the shop update on our bonus day this year, Leap Day. We're going to start here in the photo studio with a project that Steve just wrapped up.
Hey everybody, if you remember last week I was working on the drill press table. This is going to get our fit our little grizzly that we have up in the video studio. It's going to be wall mounted. It's all Baltic birch. I got that finished. Has one nice big deep drawer for accessories. And then part of this project was a drill press table that will fit on that grizzly. It's got a couple of glued in T-tracks, shop made fence, and a little pop out replaceable drill pad for the center where the drill bit will come down. So these slots will be for mounting it and what have you. And again, it's just Baltic birch and some maple.
Cool.
Thanks.
You going to me or Dylan?
Dylan.
Perfect. All right, well, after talking about it for several weeks now, I finally have some drawings together, and I've actually started on working on the Scottish level. And so, in weeks past, I talked about a little bit of the background behind these. I ended up taking a procedure and or technique from a torpedo level we did several years ago for a Woodsmith issue. And so the actual vial holder in the middle, which is responsible for all of its function, is taken from a previous project. I thought, again, it was just a very clever and simple way to create that mechanism. So outside of that, the scale of this is just slightly different than the original. The Scottish levels and English style levels are a little shorter, they're a little narrower, and they're not quite as long, even though they do come in varying lengths. For the body, I decided to use some walnut. There seems to be a surplus of it around here, and I found some pieces that I liked with some pretty consistent graining. Got some of the hardware here I've used for the vial mechanism. I have some very small 8/32 threaded inserts here. I bought myself some nice brass machine screws to hold them in place. All sorts of fun stuff here. Otherwise, right now I'm working on the metal, so it's kind of an infill style level. So over here at the vise, I've got the top plate that I'm working on that has the most detail. There's a couple of wear plates that go on the bottom. They're also 1/8 inch brass. The brass I use for this is 1/8 inch 360 ultra machinable, so it's really easy to work and soft. So I've got the viewing slot here. There's a couple holes on the other end that just screw into the top to hold this bracket or this plate in place, and then I just kind of have a decorative pattern that I laid out here that was, again, reminiscent of some of the Scottish style levels that had a lot of intricate metal detailing on it. I tried to streamline things a little bit because this is, other than doing the vials, probably the most involved part of it, and so I wanted to kind of minimize the amount of work, especially if people aren't, proficient or do a lot of metal work. I want to make it accessible and something that people feel like they can do. And so right now I've just drilled out all the holes. I'm doing some rough cutting, and then once I have these cut out, I'm just using a fret saw to waste out some of the material. I'll go back and fine tune some stuff with some files I have over here. Other than that, just trying to get this wrapped up for photography, and then moving forward to, I believe, 270, I'm always forgetting the numbers here, 274. I've got a waterfall, so kind of Art Deco style nightstand I'll be working on, and then I'm doing a model, which I'm kind of looking forward to. It's outside of something I'm typically designing, so I'm kind of looking forward to doing that. So that's all I have this week. Otherwise, I think we're going to go over and talk to Mark.
Hey everyone, so this week I am actually between projects, so I think I'm waiting on the next project to come along, which is another John Doyle special, which is a kids play table. So until that's designed and I've got plans in front of me, it's a good thing I can work on the shop this week. So I think end of last week and the start of this week, I ended up changing out some of the lights in the ceiling. There was a few that were out, so I decided to change the ones that were out, and I realised that my OCD kicked in. And I didn't like the look of some yellow, some white, some mixed match, so I ended up changing the whole lot, which resulted in, I think, 160 light bulbs all in all. So I changed them all out to LED, so now we've got this new bright white light in here, which is awesome, so we can actually see what we're doing. So after I got finished doing those, I got started on doing the dust collector duct work. So what I'm doing, you'll see little post-it notes scattered everywhere. I'm going around to each station and changing out each individual piece. Just for an example, this one up here has got a dead end on it, so that makes it less efficient. Originally over here there was a dead end where the piping went to somewhere, to some machine over here years ago. So taking all that out, modified this section to, because I wanted a floor sweep over by my bench, and then I needed to modify this whole section and make it wider pipe, 6-inch and down to 5-inch for the floor sweep. That was quite tricky just because of where the Y was located. So I had to figure out how this was going to come over here and avoid the outlets for the machine. So finally got that figured out. What I do good at is I start one job and it always leads to 3 other jobs. So now I've got this 4-inch hose that's going to my router table. So now I need a way of connecting it to a fence. So before I had this guy. So this was the previous fence, and as you see, it's just got a 2-inch port. So I wanted to swap that out into a more heavy-duty rounder connection. So I got with Chris Fitch yesterday, and we were kind of coming up with ideas for a different fence system for this router table that would enable for a bigger hose to connect to. So I think this is going to be the prototype, and I think it's maybe going to be a future Shop Notes project. So we might modify it just a little bit more yet, but this is pretty much the base of it, so I'm going to give it a shot and see how it works. So that's that. So I'm going to keep working my way around the shop and modifying each section as I come across it. So that's what I've got going on.
I lost Phil. Oh!
Well, there you are. That's it for the shop update today. If you have any questions, comments, or smart remarks, you can leave those in the comments section below. And then tune in next week to see just what's different about the piping and the other projects that we have coming up. See you next week, everybody. Bye.